Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to assemble a model kit, and I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote into the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. And if you just feel like being a lurker and you don't want to say anything at all, just go ahead and lurk. That's also okay. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. We are currently at 21 subscribers. The goal is to get to 30. I shut up about the number of subscribers I have when we hit 30. Also, on my birthday stream, which is going to be June 23rd, starting at 3:30 p.m., that's a Tuesday, 30 will be the first thing. That'll be the first unlock for cool stuff in my birthday subathon. I don't know what the first step will be. I have to kind of space things out. I can tell you, if you're interested, that there will be cards that I will be cracking. I'm going to do some crack packs. Hey, Lord Crashington, welcome. So I'll be packing some cracks of the Ninja Turtles Magic the Gathering set. I got 3 packs of those coming in the mail. They'll be here next week, and certainly plenty of time for that. So I'm going to crack a pack, crack 3 packs for that. I've got a little Lego set to build. I've got a model kit, a little, like a 45-minute model kit to build. That'll be on my thing as I go from hopefully 30 subscribers all the way up to 90 subscribers, where I will drink a terrible beverage, Dr. Pilk, and if I hit my 90 goal that day, I will bring back a thing that I have done in the past as a stream, and it will happen in July. And I will announce what that is in June. So I'm teasing you now. I'm laying the groundwork, because February was very nice, I should say. We'll go to the overhead camera, and we'll start getting some stuff worked on in this kit. You can see here, my February subathon was great, except we didn't do much. We didn't get to do much in it. So I want to do better than that. It was still really fun. We just didn't get anywhere. You may have noticed, wait, Pat, where are the open hands with all the fingers? And the answer is these fucking fingers keep falling off. This one has fallen off several times. And then this one, I went to fix one of them, and then another one fell off. And then when I fixed that one, another one fell off. And so I don't want to look at them right now. They make me mad. They make me unhappy. So right now, closed fists, which I don't like. I don't like how that looks. But this kid has closed fists while I am annoyed with it. Maybe tomorrow when I'm not building, I will work on that in my own time and try to get this back on track. But right now, I'm annoyed, so no. We need L and I. We are working on basically the things that are going to connect to the legs, or that are going to go between the legs and the feet, and then we'll keep going. Nice, small, unsecure fingers. Indeed, Lord Grashington, I think tension is supposed to keep them in place, but that did not work. And so I could glue them, but why would I glue things that are supposed to move unless they're broken? And they're not broken. So I don't know. So right now, I'm just not looking at them because they make me mad. So that they get to be banished over on the small table. And I will deal with them another time when they can recognize what they've done. Lord Crashington does the thing that I have been waiting for someone to do since the first stream of this month on May 2nd. Double checking that. Yes. So it's been almost a week of this month, and no one has pressed this. If you are new to the channel, what's going to happen is Lord Crashington used their channel points in order to hit the dance button. I have a new song every month, and I dance around a little bit, and it's fun. And here we go. Thank you for using your channel points. Let me just make sure I get the piece I need to get out. It's 22. Okay, here we go. Great. You're like, is there a drop to this? Yes, there's a drop to it. And it came in. It was there. Great. Thank you for using your channel points for something silly like that. If you have channel points and you would like me to ring a physical bell, or what else we could do? Answer a question, dance, you can use your channel points for that. If you are so inclined, you can make those things happen vis-a-vis points. All right, so this goes in like that, that goes in like that, and then we enclose it. Lord Crashton wants me to hit the trivia card. These are delightfully useless trivia cards. So I will read you a, thank you for using those points. I will read you a question, and folks in chat can answer it, and then I will reveal the real answer. Oh, I gotta do this over here, that's right. This is a question about Morse code. What did the first telegram sent by Morse code say? A, Mr. Watson, come here. B, SOS. C, what hath God wrought? And, or D, are you up? There's always one that's definitely not the answer, but it's fun. So it could be Mr. Watson, come here. SOS. What hath God wrought? And are you up? I'll give you a moment here to think of your answer. You put that in the chat if you know it. If you actually know it, you can just say what it is. If you don't know it, you can make an educated guess. Lord Crashton says SOS, and Lashbrook says C is the funniest answer, so I'll go with that. The answer is C. What hath God wrought? Which is nice because it must have taken so long to decode, because it's a long fucking thing. SOS is easy. What hath God wrought is complicated. Are you up is a funny answer, but yes, it is what hath God wrought, which is a thing that I knew because I have in my heart and in my mind a lot of useless fucking trivia. In my youth, you know, many moons ago, because I'm an older man now, I came to a terrible conclusion after doing some thought about who I was and who I would like to be. And I came to the conclusion that I was going to be one of those kinds of people that knew a little bit about a lot of things. That maybe I could become someone that knew a lot about one thing, but what if I knew enough about a ton of things? I could always strike up a conversation about something. If somebody was an expert in a thing, I could then share the one or two things I knew about said thing. That is in particularly annoying. And I can't change that about myself now. I can keep the thoughts to myself, and occasionally a family obligation, some sort of networking thing, things of those nature. I have and do keep that shit to myself. Improv was great about that, like because you should be an expert in your field if you were improvising in a thing. You don't really need to, but it is nice to do that. That it's like, well, I don't know anything about what we're talking about here, but I do know enough about this thing that is similar to it, so I will just act like I know what I'm talking about, and that'll be enough. Okay, so this lives like above this. It feels like this shouldn't live above this, but then it's gonna go in. Okay. Yeah, all right, it's movement. All right, there's just a lot of movement to this part, and I'm confused by that, but whatever. I always go back to, there was an improv scene. Now I won't describe the scene, because that is not fun or funny, but there was a moment, years and years ago, where my good friend Bobby, and I will name drop my good friend Bobby Moynihan, good old Bibby. He was in an improv scene, and it was initiated to this improv scene that everybody in the group, it was a group scene, was some sort of, they were in some sort of fantasy adventure type scenario, right? And then they were just kind of going through the motions of it. But then the game, the funny thing about it, because the fact that these people were in a fantasy scene, that they're fantasy characters, that's not the funny thing. That's just the thing. The funny thing became that through yes and conversation, it became clear that these people didn't know what they were supposed to do in a fantasy world. And it was this meta layer of we're all kind of sci-fi nerds, not fantasy nerds, so we're not sure what we should do here. So it became a bunch of people who were unsure of themselves. But because they were all strong improvisers, that idea that could be bad wasn't bad because they were all playing at the top of their intelligence and having a good time with it. So they were just kind of being like, so we probably do this, and we're in a tavern, right? Like, and we would call that a tavern, not a bar, and just kind of like that kind of thing. And the audience is laughing, and it's a good time, and it's fun. And then Bobby just goes, I feel like I have a mount, and I ride on that mount. And then there's this laugh from the audience, but the back of the audience. And I know where that laugh is coming from. That's coming from the bar, the concession stand bar. And then Bobby, without missing a beat, says, okay, that laugh tells me that yes, I do have a mount, and it is called a mount. And the audience burst out laughing because this laugh of acknowledgement is coming from the bartender who used to play World of Warcraft in a guild, and Bobby had seen him play World of Warcraft on a laptop and saw that he had a mount. And so basically it was an in-joke for like 5 people, but because someone laughed, and then Bobby was like, okay, that's telling me that I'm right. Everyone laughed. And that always stuck with me as a thing of like, Bobby in the moment was like, okay, what do I know about fantasy bullshit? I know some Lord of the Rings, and I know Brian plays World of Warcraft. And he's a little guy on something. Okay, I'll say what I know. And it was just so honest and earnest. And it made me laugh too a lot, because I was like, I also have a mount. But I had a panther, not a goat, I imagine. It must have been a goat or a sheep. Yeah, it must have been a goat. But that has always stuck with me as a like, I feel like I should have a mount. It's always stuck with me as like, oh yeah, that was the example I often give of like, okay, you are a thing. You do not know anything about that thing, but you must continue. You must do the thing. You must be the fantasy man. And if you can't be the fantasy man, then like figure something else out. Is this correct? Yes. I'm fairly sure that I have done the feet and the legs extensions that are going to go into the legs correctly. I'm going to panel line these parts here, and then we'll move on and actually start working on the ding-dang legs, which would be great. I don't want to get maudlin. I do miss performing comedy. I do miss doing improv. I don't know, there is nothing like that around here for me. There is some short form stuff, but I feel very strange about getting into a new scene. And if I return to New York, it would also be weird because it has been long enough that there are people who have burned brightly and then burned out and left. That there are while there are certainly still people out there who would be like, oh shit, Pat's in town. It would be different, and I understand that. I have considered, no plans right now, would need certain things to happen for that. I have considered doing a comedic panel at a convention again. And I think that would be a nice bridge if I could make that happen. Doing something like the improvised postmortem again, which is being fun and funny, would be a nice bit of business. I'd like to do the improvised postmortem again at a convention. I'm not going to PAX West. There is a way that I could make something like PAX Unplugged happen. And I do have friends that still go to PAX Unplugged that could also introduce me to other friends. There are people who would be looking for an excuse to go to PAX Unplugged that I could be that excuse for them. And they could come down from New York. There's, again, must make this abundantly clear. I'm not saying I'm going to a convention. But I am saying there exists a world in which I do go, and there is a craving in my heart to be funny and do funny things. And I don't have an outlet for that. Backgrounded characters was the last... Well, no, it wasn't backgrounded character. It was the last one. It was the... God. The last series, the series I did there was... It wasn't backgrounded characters, though. Oh, hold on one second. Oh, cool. Somebody gifted me a sub in the YouTube channel I was watching, or membership, I should say. Why am I blanking on what my own goddamn video series was called? But there was a series where I did, it was, background characters was a while ago. Why can't I think about, I'm gonna go to content, playlists, there we go, this is gonna tell me what I'm thinking of. Barely Rehearsed is what I was trying to think of. Barely Rehearsed, which was, it's been a fucking while since I did Barely Rehearsed, but it occurred to me that that was a series that I really enjoyed. But that was the last time that I have done comedy on in any way, shape, or form. So it is a little strange to me to think about that now. That I haven't done any kind of comedy thing since then. The closest would be like Jackbox, right? I've done some Jackbox streams, and that is comedic in nature, and I have tried to be intentionally funny on those. So, like, that's something. But it's not like... but it isn't the same. So it's like, besides Barely Rehearsed, which I'm shocked I couldn't remember the name of that, but I couldn't remember the name of it. What are you going to do? Besides that, I haven't, the last time before that would probably be the last time I went to PAX Unplugged and did improvised postmortem. That is probably the last time that I had the chance to do a bunch of comedic stuff, and that is weird. As somebody that considers himself still a comedian, an entertainer and all that, and streamer and all that, it is weird. There is an argument to be made that one could make, that I could make if I wanted to, if I really, really wanted to. I could make it the argument that, well, Pat, when you do a tier maker stream, that's a comedy thing. That is a comedy variety thing, because you are intentionally trying to be funny and silly and have fun. It's like, yeah, there's an argument to be for that. But the very idea of going to a place specifically to watch, to have people come to a particular place to see me be funny, it has been a while. And I think that last PAX Unplugged I went to was the last time that I did comedy for a live in-person audience. And that's weird. It's weird because that was so much of my life. So much of my life was doing, thinking about, preparing for, facilitating other people in comedy. And it's kind of weird that I don't do it anymore. I would feel very rusty doing improv, but because like even D&D stuff and tabletop stuff that I do in my free time for fun, those are often pretty silly and fun because I'm with people that are funny and silly, and we have a good time doing it. And it is performative, but it's performative for like my fellow players because we're not doing it for an audience. And so it is a different kind of performative. And it might be better in some ways, but it's different. And I don't know. I don't love that. I don't love it. I don't love that I don't do comedy anymore. It's weird. It's a thing that I've been like aware of about being displeased with, that I don't do that anymore. That even though I do consider myself to be a comedian, I don't have a comedic outlet anymore. That's strange. I don't know. But I also overthink everything. So, you know, what else is new? There's a lot of news, which is weird for a Thursday, but there is a bunch of news. Let's see. You may remember way back in 2018 that a publisher named Pearl Abyss bought CCP Games, the EVE Online people, that they were purchased for about $425 million. Well, that shit's over. As of this week, CCP Games has rebranded as Ferris Creations. And Ferris Creations, for about $120 million, are now an independent entity. They have a board of directors, and it is the management that basically, instead of selling it off to another buyer, they sold it off to the management team. And Ferris Creations are now an independent entity that now have the future of EVE Online in their hands. And that fucking rules. That's awesome. Do I keep up with what's going on in EVE Online? No, I don't. But still, I think that's awesome. Good for them. And I hope that the future is bright for all the folks that are working hard in the trenches to keep that thing going. I think the games industry is certainly not healthy by any stretch of the imagination, and I will not pretend otherwise. But I do think that if it's an industry that can't sustain, I'm going to change something a little bit here with the lighting. Just something real quick here. Give me a second. Oh. That's too much. I don't like it. Okay, what about that? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's easier for me to read stuff. Okay, we'll go with that. I'm still kind of like dialing the settings here. I turned out the most like yellow fake natural lighting is good for how things look here, but not great for like me reading, even though my new glasses make things a lot easier for me to read, and which is great. It's still like sometimes the glare is bad with that lighting, so I'm going to go with this one. I think that's still the best call. But anyway, congrats to Fenris Creations. I think I said Ferris. I meant to say Fenris, so my apologies. Headquarters are still going to be in Iceland. They still have other studios in London and Reykjavik and Shanghai. And that's cool. Let's see. Other things. Atari has acquired the rights to 5 wizardry titles, which is a weird thing to say in the year 2026, to even mention wizardry. Honestly, it continues to be a little weird to mention Atari in a way that is positive. But here we are. Remakes and new releases. Let's see. The 5 titles included in the deal, which is an undisclosed fee, are Wizardry Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord, Wizardry 2, The Knights of Diamonds, Wizardry 3, Legacy of Leomund, and Wizardry 4, The Return of Weirdna. Oh, and also, Wizardry 5, Heart of the Maelstrom. Maelstrom, I should say. Pardon me, Maelstrom. Words are hard today for me, apparently. Congratulations to Atari. This is a strange thing. It is to me a bit of a strange announcement, but congrats, I guess. I don't know. The company previously published a remake of Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord via digital clips. And so they're like, oh, what if we got licenses to do more of that? Yeah, so cool. I don't know. I think it's kind of neat. Getting through some of these news stories here. Nothing like big. I guess I should pause and say, as many of you are aware, I don't cover WWE anymore because I don't watch the WWE anymore. I'll say this. I didn't know they had a pay-per-view on Saturday until like yesterday. Yesterday, one of the wrestling channels that I watch on YouTube was like, Dirty just redeemed the trivia card. That's the second trivia in one night. That's awesome. Hello, Dirty. I'll read that trivia and then I'll tell a little bit about that. Okay. Oh, you can see this. Sorry, I messed this one up. But I don't care. It's a Kanye West thing in a series of 72 tweets. Sorry, I'm going to give you a new one, and I'll make it so you can't see it. Jeez. Okay. This is a question about the California Gold Rush or Jamie Foxx. It's called Gold Digger. After striking gold in 1849. I'm doing very well at reading today and speaking. After striking gold in 1849, a miner famously ordered the most expensive meal possible. What did it consist of? A. Eggs, bacon, and oysters. B. A bowl of caviar. C. Molasses on toast. Or D. Bread, butter, and sardines. So what was the most expensive meal possible that a miner famously ordered? Eggs, bacon, and oysters, a bowl of caviar, molasses on toast, or bread, butter, and sardines. I'll give you a moment to answer that while I clip out some pieces here. Oysters, caviar, what was the third one? Molasses, sardines. Lord Crashton says molasses. Dirty says D, which would be bread, butter, and sardines. Lashbrook also says molasses. The answer is A, eggs, bacon, and oysters. Eggs, bacon, and oysters was the most expensive meal that this miner could order. It must have been the oysters. I'm going to assume it was the oysters that were expensive. Maybe it was the bacon. That sounds like a bad combo. I don't know. Eggs and bacon and oysters, sure, why not? I'm not interested. But I will say, let's see, can we do our bread, butter, and sardines? So I would say that a lot of things I like to do is what sounds like the weirdest one, because people aren't creative. so it usually is the right one. But I would say bread, butter, and sardines might have been weirder than eggs. No, eggs, bacon, and oysters is weird. And of course, I can say that because I know the answer. But that often is my thing, is that folks aren't necessarily super creative. So if presented with some options and there's one that's weird, it's probably there because it's true. That does not always work, but that's a little thing from your friend Pat. So anyway, yesterday I happened to see on YouTube one of the creators that I follow who makes content about wrestling was like, here are my predictions for Backlash. And I was like, wait, WWE is a fucking pay-per-view on Saturday? Like, I'm in Discords with active wrestling channels. I'm on social media and follow a lot of people who cover this stuff. Like, and I don't know anyone that's talking about it. Now, to be fair to me, to myself, I don't follow a lot of people that cover the WWE as much, or like, you know, fan channels that follow the WWE. So like, I don't know. I didn't know about these things, but also, like I said, I had no idea they had a pay-per-view this weekend. Like, I'm not watching, but I didn't know. You know, I hope. I did know that Danhausen is going to be at a pay-per-view and has a mystery tag a partner. And there was, of course, there was a lot of conjecture about what it would be. If it would be John Cena already coming out of retirement. Would it be CM Punk, who was not billed but is friends with Danhausen? Would he come out? Because that would endear him more to people. I understand the idea of bringing in the guy that has a lizard from AAA. You know, that could be something, and just like make it really silly with that. I don't know who it's gonna be, but that, to me, I'm excited to like find that out while I am prepping for my stream on Saturday, and not watching that, obviously, because I don't care about that. I am more interested in myself anyway, seeing what's up with this like high-tech indoor golf green that they're going to wrestle on Saturday. There's a 1 hour thing. It's not Collision, but it's a 1 hour. It's going to be on TBS, Fairway to Hell, and it's going to be a wrestling show. And I wish it was 2 hours, but it's only an hour. I hope I guess I should. I would expect them to tape some Ring of Honor stuff while they're there, but also, like, I'm not going to watch that because I don't check out Ring of Honor. So, okay. So where do you go? You lock in like this? Okay. I'm already like, what is happening with these things? What are we doing here? We're getting some movement. They're gonna move around. And then I need G3, everybody. G3. Not E3, G3. So, there is a game that came out on April 29th that none of us have heard of or have watched any of. I gather. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe a streamer you like has covered it, or a YouTuber has covered it. But we probably none of us know about Neverness to Everness, which is an open world gacha game developed by Hoda Studio. It is an open world gacha game that people seem to like as a hack and slash RPG because apparently the pull rates are good, and it looks really nice. As the game was being developed and there was a trailer out there, some people started to notice, like, hey, what's up with all this fucking AI, this generative AI bullshit in this game? It was very clear that there was some of the art, let's see, animated video during the opening missions. There's a short film, that 18-minute short film you can watch, like in an in-game theater, that was clearly made with generative AI. And also there were some like ads throughout. There was like a billboard ad for another like coming soon anime film that very much looked like somebody said, hey, make me a movie poster that isn't Weathering with You, but is Weathering with You. So a lot of people were like, hey, what the fuck's going on here? And one of the people that was saying, hey, what the fuck's going on here, was someone that was going to have that had a deal, like a paid deal, a sponsorship deal to stream the game, Iron Mouse. And Iron Mouse was like, I have this scheduled coming up. My chat is going to, I don't want to fucking deal with AI, and my chat doesn't want to fucking deal with AI. And according to Mouse, she had reached out, she was supposed to have, she stated during a stream on May 3rd that she'd be pulling out of her Neverness Taverness sponsored content because the studio had assured her that no Gen NID content would be present in the full release. Basically, because they were like, oh, it's just a trailer. Oh, sorry, some stuff slipped through, but like none of it will be in the real game. And apparently that was fucking a lie. And I respect the shit about Mousy. I'm glad, one, that she said something, and two, that she's sticking to her values, and appreciate that. She said, whenever I get sent an offer for a sponsor or something, I always make sure that I tell people, can you make sure, double, triple, quadruple check that this does not have AI in it? I will not accept it if it does. And then Hoda Studios should be, oh no, don't worry, you're good, it's all fine. And then I find out it's not fine. And then in a very Mouse fashion, she said, bro, you cannot sit here and lie and say that it is not it. Because this is what it is. Like, you can't lie. What do you think? I don't have eyes? And if you follow Mouse, you can probably have that in her voice in your head saying that. I hope I did her justice on that. And then another VTuber known as Shy Lily quit her playthrough of the game midstream. And she was basically, because her chat was like, hey, what the fuck? And she was like, yeah, I don't want to play this until I like figure it out, because this seems bad. And then also the Maggie Ellis, who's a voice actress, who was in the credits, said that they lied to her about using AI in it, and she doesn't support AI, and she's not going to keep working with the team. So that's a little bit of something, but like, I don't know, that's nice. I like that. When you find out, like, if you don't know, and you're trying to do your due diligence, I appreciate it, but then also being like, wait, something seems fucked here. This shit's not okay. I appreciate that, and good on her for sticking to her guns, and then also like, hey, don't fucking blatantly lie, devs. That's great. Now you're the studio that fucking lies all the time. Awesome. Cool. Also, like, yeah, like I said, that's not a game that I think anybody here was like, yeah, oh, I know all about that game, Pat. What are you talking about? But maybe, you know, I don't know. I don't know all the games y'all play. Is it on here? Oh yeah, it's not on. It doesn't seem to be on Steam. Cool. I went to go search for stuff and couldn't find that, and then I got suggested a popular search of Goth Obsession Touch Adventure, which is exactly what you think it is. It has very positive reviews from the publisher Raunchy Mumble. It's $2.70 right now because it's on sale, everybody. I was going to play it on PS5, but deleted after seeing the news. Nice, yeah. Oh. Oh man, Jesus. In our game, the AI is only used to sketch our girls. For the rest, our artists draw and make edits on their own. So even fucking goddamn Goth Obsession Touch Adventure is not free of AI. What are we even doing here, everybody? What are we even doing here? Is nothing sacred. Even the fine folks at raunchy whatever the fuck that was, because I already moved on, can't even promise me they're not going to have fucking AI bullshit all over their crap. Man. We used to be a country. L39, L33, 32, 33. What game were y'all talking about? Dirty. We were talking about the video game Neverness to Everness, which is a gacha game that apparently has lots of AI bullshit in it. And then Iron Mouse came out and basically just said, like, hey, I'm not going to fucking play that shit. They were going to pay me to play it, but fuck that. And then I told them, hey, are you sure you don't, like, people are making accusations, like, what's going on there? And then they were like, nah, it's cool. But it wasn't cool. So they also lied to her, which is, I would say, probably dumb. Probably dumb. All right. Where is L39? Where's L39? Did I snip it out and then I can't find it? Yeah, we did. Okay. I snipped out. Okay, heard the story, but not the name. Yes, there you go. No problem. I snipped out this piece and then I couldn't find it, and I got nervous about that. All right, so... this goes in like this. And sometimes the instructions in this one are a little weird, I'll say. They want me to go in here like this. But then when it's done, so it goes like that. And then, but it's got to go back through. So it's like, well, what do you want from me? How am I going to do this? It's telling me, okay, you have it like this, and then there's an arrow, and it goes in. But then, like, has to come out like that. Okay, like that. All right. Okay. I think I understand. And then it's going to go into J17. J. We have not used J too much. Gotta get that going. Okay. Let's see. Mina the Howler has a release date. Mina the Howler was supposed to be out last October, then it got delayed. Yacht Club Games was like, yeah, we're gonna work on this. We need more time. And now the new date is the end of this month, May 29th. And it is $20. It is a top-down dungeon combat puzzle thing. Let's see. And that seems to be like the ceiling for game these days, it looks like. It looks cool. It's coming out. Looks neat. And yeah, $20 seems to be the like big indie price. Like if it's $20, you're like, yeah, all right. If it's like $30, you're like, oh, I don't know. Which sucks because $30 probably should be the price point for games that are going to be multiple hours of playing. It probably should be fucking $30, but seems like $20 is going to be the sweet spot there. Okay, fucking, I guess we'll talk about this, man. I should say this. My apathy is not because I don't care about games looking good or interesting or anything like that. I do have a bit of apathy when it comes to things I'm never going to play, right? Like, I don't own a Switch or Switch 2, so Switch only releases don't really matter much to me. Same thing with PS5 exclusives or Xbox exclusives. They don't really mean too much to me because I won't play them. I mean, sometimes PS5 stuff will come to Steam later, so maybe later I would be into it. But in the moment, at the beginning of it, I'm not, and I don't think about it too much. I just don't think about those things too often. Okay, so there's that, and I understand that that's not true for other people will be really excited about it. So, like, I say all that to say I'm not mad myself personally, your friend Pat. I do not care that Star Fox and Friends look like that in this remake of Star Fox 64. I do not care about it. It does not bother me. I don't care that it doesn't look like the movie because I don't care about the movies. And because that's a different Star Fox than this Star Fox. I think it looks fucked up, and I like that. I'm excited that it looks weird. I like when Nintendo makes weird shit, and this looks weird. The way they move around, the way they interact with one another, some of them sound, not all of them. Some of them don't sound as pathetic as I would like, but I like it. I came away from that trailer thinking to myself, yeah, cool. And I know I'm not the only one that thinks that, but I also know that there are people that have a different opinion on that think very differently about that trailer. Mostly, I will say, it would be cool if there was a new Star Fox game and not a remake of a 64 game. That's the take I have on that, more than my disgust with or my dislike of the choices they have made about how they're going to do that game. But either way, I kept seeing them on my feed last night, and I kept looking at Fox and going, yeah, all right, great, cool. I don't know. I'm into it. I looked at that and I said, hell yeah. So I've never really been a Star Fox person, but I feel like it's too much money. But then also, don't buy it then. Like, that's what I'll say about anything. Like, great. Then you just saved yourself a bunch of money because you're already not a Star Fox fan. Like, I don't know. Like, do I think that remakes should be cheaper? Maybe. I also think that game development is expensive, and games shouldn't be, and games can, like, if people universally say, hey, actually, this is fucking too much money, then it'll, the next one won't be as much, or they won't make another one. I do think there will be some people out there that will buy this game because they want a new Star Fox game to exist, that they will purchase this so that their money is doing the speaking for them. And I do think that is often, like, understandable, but I don't necessarily agree with it. Okay, so this should go and click in here, and it doesn't see... Oh, there it goes. Okay, I'm sorry. It didn't see what we want to, but no, it did. I don't know. I'm not bent out of shape over the current goings-on when it comes to the Star Fox stuff, but I don't know. Like I said, I can say that in part because it doesn't affect me. Let's see. Anything else here? This is kind of interesting. We'll probably end this conversation this section with this here in a moment. Valve, the fine folks at Valve, they understand. Some of you, meaning people out there, you wanted to buy a Steam controller, and it didn't happen because it sold out in like 30 minutes. And people got it and then immediately put up like eBay things of like, hey, I have one. Here's the here's a version of the confirmation. You'll get mine when I get mine, and that kind of stuff. People were doing that kind of shit. Scalpers were buying them, you know, that kind of bullshit. And Valve was like, look, we got steps. Now, could Valve have done this from the get-go? Probably. But doing this now in a response, I assume that somebody told them this is the thing you should do. So that way, because it's like, oh, it's sold out in 30 minutes, so that we obviously have to do something else. Like, they got like advice to not jump off the deep end with that. Or maybe they didn't know just how popular the shit would be, which seems silly, but maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't know. They didn't know that people were going to be like so hot for it. Which again, to me anyway, sounds silly that they wouldn't know that. But they got ideas put in place here. So, starting tomorrow, May 8th, there'll be a reservation queue on Steam for the Steam controller. You reserve your spot, you get a place in line. And then when they get stock, whenever that stock happens, order emails will be sent out, and you basically have 3 days to say yes and buy it, or no, and whatever. And then after 3 days, I think you just go back into the queue if you didn't respond or something like that. You only get one. Now, if you want to have matching Steam controllers, have a friend who also has an account and doesn't want one. You got 3 days to buy or pass. You have to have a Steam account with a good standing. Good standing is, I'm a little bit vague on some of the qualifications of that, but generally it's that you've bought something in the past. You've had to make a Steam purchase before April 27th, so that means that you can't create, because it's tied to your account right now, and you can't buy multiples, so you can't just make a new Steam account just to buy it, which is again to combat, you only buy one, it's got to be tied to your account. That's to combat scalpers and bot bullshit. And yeah, you have to be in good standing. Good standing. It hasn't been. Yeah, you haven't been banned for using like cheat workarounds or something like that. Also, that is also good standing means that people who have accounts that they have sold to other people, generally that gets tied to some bullshit. So they're trying to prevent somebody from just buying a bunch of dormant accounts and using that. So usually it's also you've had to have made a purchase on Steam at a certain time. In this case, before April 27th. And then they're going to fulfill reservations next week, start fulfilling reservations. And I think that's good. I think this will certainly help. I don't know if it will solve the problem. I think it will make it harder. It certainly won't stop people. Also, if you already bought one, you can't do it again. So it will at least prevent scalpers who already did this from doing it again. It won't stop like a new scalper from doing this, but they can only do it once. And that is at least something. And they are putting in some amount of steps, which I think is good. I think these are, they've got to do something. I understand if this is not for some people enough. I totally understand that. But it is at least they're trying some stuff. And I think that's good. So if you're looking for one, I would say try to get in that queue. Yeah, if you really want a Steam controller. I continue to be very happy with... I'll just put it on screen. I'll put it on here because I got to go over camera. I'm happy with my Xbox One knockoff controller. This is a Power A. It was an Amazon Prime deal. Even though the cable here is removable, it is not wireless. It has to be wired. So USB-C to I could, the thing is I could swap this out with a USB-C, just USB-C to USB-C cable instead of using this adapter. But the cable's nice and long, and I really like that. I don't know. It's got a good feel. Everything feels good about this knockoff bullshit wire controller. So I continue to use that. And before it broke, before that, I had one that was an Xbox Series. Well, no, this is the X. Then whatever. I had another one that was like the Xbox controller because I've gotten very used to having knockoff vibe Xbox controllers. I mean, I used to have 360 controllers with the and buy the wireless dongle, you know, the wireless USB dongle thing. I used to get that so that I could have my stuff put in there because I liked the 360 controller, and I have just kept with Xbox as a controller, you know, so either it is the knockoff or the real deal. I stick with it because I like it. Okay, so I got to figure out how this connects. There's another piece that has to go in here, which is fine, and then it's going to connect like this. That goes in there. I'll get this figured out, and then we'll move on. Okay, and that goes in like that. All right. Okay, so we're going to do this one last piece here, and then we'll take the pause for the cause. I just want to do this while I have the momentum of kind of understanding how all this works. L24. Because then we also have to work on the other leg. Luckily, there's a lot going on here, but I think I'm doing it right? Question mark, question mark. Suddenly unsure of themselves. Okay. All I know is that when these legs move, a bunch of shit is going to happen, and that's kind of cool. I like that. But yeah, there's a lot going on with this. And I'll need more L pieces on here, so we'll get that ready to go again. But first, a pause for the cause. Hello. This is my opportunity right now to take a couple minutes, just a few, so stick around. We'll get back to building and talking about anime and stuff like that. But I want to take a couple moments to chat with you about ways that you can support the stream and what I do here. Everything I'm about to talk to you is optional. Sorry, let me just real quick here. Just no. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Do that. Okay. Everything I'm about to tell you is optional. You are under no obligation to do any of the things I'm about to say here. But if you would like to, I would love that. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. We are currently at 21 subscribers. The goal is to get up to 30. I shut up about the number of subscribers I have when I hit 30. So if you want to become a subscriber, you want to gift a sub. We have not had a gifted sub since I believe March. I think March was the last time we had a gifted sub. So if you want to gift a sub, you could do that. You know, Cash Money, Prime Gaming token, all those things. Feel free to do that if you'd like to. There's other ways to support me, like joining my Patreon at the $1, $3, $5, or $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. I will say that currently my $3, $5, and $10 patrons are voting on what I do next Tuesday. I have some options for things to do next Tuesday. I'm going to check the results so far and see how we're voting here. Let's loading. Okay, so far, I'm going to be watching some old wrestling. Because even the last time I did a stream where we watched wrestling, that was some new shit. That was some modern Joshi. So it's time to resurrect Pat Watches old wrestling and watch some old wrestling. It's been a hot minute. I can actually look up the last time, what the last one was, I think. Do I have that slide? Pat Watches Wrestling. Oh, yeah. The last time I watched some wrestling, it was, we just watched some modern Joshi. That's what I said. And then before that, I think it was a mixed bag. So we'll do a mixed stream. We'll watch some stuff. That'll be good. It'll be a good time. You'll like it. It'll be fun. You'll have a good time hanging out with me and doing that. So right now, if you are the $3, $5, or $10 tier on my Patreon, you could vote for something else. You could say, no, play this video game or do this other thing. you could do that if you wanted to. And thank you if you're already on Patreon at any tier, or if you used to be. Thanks. I have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBear. Over on my YouTube, you can, of course, subscribe for free, and I would love for you to do that. And then you can also consider becoming a member. And for just $2 a month, you will get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So the video that went out for everybody to watch yesterday, you would have already seen that shit. You would have been like, I already know what the new theme for May is, because you changed it from the previous year. You would have already known that I was going to be talking about Shonen all the month of May. You would have known that already. And you already known the first one I want to talk about, which I pretty much made the theme because I wanted to talk about this one good-ass anime. So, those are all monthly ways to support what I do here. If you would like to throw some money in the tip jar, I've got a Ko-Fi and a PayPal, and you can make some direct donations that way if you wanted to. Everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense. So if you're watching my videos, I make a little money on that. Through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund, and from that fund I pull money out to buy model kits and equipment, the overhead light that I'm continuing to fiddle with, even to this day, because I'm like, well, what if I go like this? Like, no, I don't like that. But what if I go like this? I think I like that better. I think this is probably the best way. I think this is probably the lighting I'm going to go with. I don't know. I had to turn down the brightness on this to compensate, and so we're all working, and it's all fine. What was I say? So your support right now at any, on Patreon, on Twitch, on YouTube memberships, all goes to help me to keep doing this stuff. So thank you. Now, the kit I'm currently working on right now, is this kit, the Narrative Gundam Master Grade. This was sent to me by friend of the channel, DSHS. And it jumped the queue. He sent me 3 model kits in 2 boxes, and I've been building those. And when I'm done with this, I'll go back to my backlog. Unless you buy, buy something for me to build off my Amazon wish list, because then that will jump the queue and become the next thing I work on, because that's the least I could do. It'll get its own dedicated YouTube video as well. Let's see, my wish list here, we've got a bunch of stuff: model kits, Lego sets, inexpensive stuff, expensive stuff. Take a look at something there if you wanted to. I'm going to look at what one of the cheaper things on this wish list is. That is a model kit. There's some gear there. There's a Mega Charizard X Pokemon model kit that is currently $20. There is an Animal Crossing Julian's birthday party Lego set. Small little Lego set for Julian, the Animal Crossing friend, for $15. You can get that for me to build. A bunch of things and thanks. I don't know why I put lowest price, and they gave me things that are not, that this is not organized by lowest. So that's really fun. But I got model kits and Lego sets, all kinds of different things and things. If you see something on the wish list you'd love to see me build, then you could purchase it, and I'll put it together. Consider it, please. My alternative to Amazon, because I have alternatives, is I have a wish list on Throne. Consider checking that out, please. And then, of course, if you want to support me financially, and you want it to be convoluted and complicated and take many, many steps, here is the most complicated way to support me financially, is to go to USA Gundam Store. At USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card. They will send you a code in your email with that gift card code. Then you can send me a whisper on Twitch, or a private message on Blue Sky or Mastodon with that gift card code. And then I will use that gift card code. Pardon me. I will use that gift card code, and I'll buy something from USA Gundam Store. It's that easy. It's complicated. If you want to support me financially and you don't want to spend any money, join my Discord. Joining my Discord is a great way to support what I do here. It's a lovely little community. Love to have you hang out there. Be great. Couple of video links for you to check out. I will have a new episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club up next Monday. The current episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club is Pat Bear's Manga Club. I know, confusing. It's me talking about some weird manga, like manga that exists and is real and has weird premises. Like, what if Jesus and the Buddha were just roommates hanging out in Tokyo and learning about modern life. That's a manga. It's good, but it's a fucking weird premise. That it's good though, but it's weird. It's weird that exists. So watch the video for more of that. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. And this week, again, it's Shonen month, the month of May. I'm talking about Shonen. And so I had to talk about my favorite shonen of all time. One of my favorite anime of all time. That's right, there's a shonen I like that I like more than Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. And that's Yu Yu Hakusho. I think Yu Yu Hakusho fucking rules. Is every moment of every episode, does it hold up? No, it doesn't. There was a time where Yusuke's acceptance of a woman who was born a man was maybe backwardly kind of okay for the 90s. For the 90s, it was pretty progressive. In 2026, it's not. It's a bad episode. It's a bad element of an episode. Also, some of the filler doesn't hold up really, but like still. That being said, Yu Yu Hakusho fucking whips ass. Hiei, one of the all-time like I am still not a good guy, bad guys. It's just so good. Kurama, obviously top tier, excellent. Kuwabara, not in the end of the series. Didn't make sense for him to do it. Didn't want to do it, didn't do it. You don't have Hunter x Hunter, one of the best anime of all time. You do not have Hunter x Hunter if you don't have Yu Yu Hakusho. Also, if you read the manga, Yusuke is fucking dead for so many chapters. And the anime, when I first watched the anime, I was like, when is this guy gonna fucking come back to life? He's been dead for so long. In the manga, it takes even longer because you're reading it. They kind of sped it up for the anime. He's dead for so long. It's kind of fucking crazy. It's great though. It's absolutely fantastic. And you know, you watch it dub and sub. There's a lot of fucking episodes. I think it ends well. That knife edge death match is a killer fight. Yes, with Chu, that is an awesome fight. Fucking rule. Man, it's one of the best martial arts tournaments in all of Shonen. It's so fucking good. It's just like, hey, here's a bunch of cool characters. Maybe they're going to become friends. Here's a bunch of shit dick characters. They suck ass. Some of them are fucking cool, though. Some of them are fucking cool. It's the most Dan Reichert-coded fight. Yes, it's like, hey, we're both really strong. Let's just fucking punch each other. And then also, you'd fuck up your leg if you start wilting. It's pretty great. That's a pretty great fight. That show whips ass. Anyway, I won't talk as much about it until the next one on Saturday and Monday. But also, please watch that because my short numbers are in the fucking toilet. It's bad, y'all. I went from like 1,500 to 2,000 views in like a couple days, and then it would trail off a little bit to like a couple hundred. And that's not good. Y'all, you don't have to be a numbers person to know. The numbers are fucking bad right now on shorts. I don't know. It's like it's rough out there. Yeah, I have 178 views in 24 hours, and that's not good. You and I are polar opposites. Got 311 views. Journal of Witch got 243. Frieren, Beyond Journey's End Season 2 got 627. And then before that, I was at I have 1,000 views for The Invisible Man and His Soon-to-Be Wife, which is not a popular anime, but that got 1,000 views. Yeah, shit's rough. I don't know what's happening, but my views are bad. Basically, Invisible Man was the last good numbers, and that was low. Like 1,000 views was low for me. When Pon no Michi didn't get any views, I'm like, yeah, that makes some sense. But Yu Yu Hakusho should fucking be hitting people. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to play around with when I release it during the day. Maybe that's been messing with me. So the next couple I might try at different times, see if that bounces back. I don't know. I shouldn't have to think about that. But if I get one good one, I can coast on it for a little while. So I don't know. I just want people to know about cool anime. I want someone who's been hearing a bunch of times about how Yu Yu Hakusho rules to be like, fucking fine, I'll watch it. God, everyone keeps talking about it. I want to be that push that finally pushes someone over to watch a thing that I think rules. Anyway, I need to drink some water. And then we need to dramatically transition back to the overhead camera so I can talk about anime and I can keep working on this goddamn big-ass leg that I'm working on here. This really detailed leg. So we'll do all of that right now. So, Coco, our girl Coco, because we're going to talk about Witch Hat Atelier and Marriagetoxin. Witch Hat Atelier is first here. So our girl Coco is like kind of bummed because shit's getting weird and she knows that she doesn't know why weird shit keeps happening to her, and she doesn't even know if like this is normal or not. It seems like it's not normal, but she's not like really sure what the deal is. But she does know that she is not learning magic fast enough and she is not pulling her weight, and she would like to improve if she can. So basically, but like Queefree is just like, hey, like, I'm gonna help you chill out. Why don't I make you in charge of the picnic that we're gonna be having? Okay, no problem. And so they get ready to have a picnic. This is mostly just to like kind of relax and get everybody chill after the incident. But a storm is coming. And by that I mean a literal storm is coming. Queefree shields the apprentices from the storm, and then they have a picnic. And then Coco has to go find Agot and runs into the supervisor. And I should do this better. This is the Altiers, let's see, what is it? Oh, Ruggio. I have to be better about that, folks. I like hear names in anime, and then I write them down, and then I don't say them out loud before I do the recap here. And I gotta get better at that, because that's like practice. I need to practice those names. So I will endeavor to improve in that regard. And he's basically like, wait, Coco has run into forbidden magic? Like, okay, this is what all right, we got to turn you in. You got to go to the council. We got to see what's going on here. Queefree's just like, wait, let me explain what's going on. And so they kind of go back and forth about this. And basically it's just like, look, you can't handle all this. You've got all these, like, no, we got to talk to the Knights. There's the Knights Morales, and they're the law enforcement. They should take this over and this investigation, which is like, really, man? You're immediately like, your first instinct is to call the fucking witch police? Like, really? Okay, so how does this piece go in? Let's just go in like that. Okay. And Queefree's like, no, like, they're not going to do any investigation. They're just going to erase Coco's memories. That's not a solution to what's going on here. Like that's not going to give us any kind of end result. And so he's just like, look, it's my fault that Coco learned about magic. Like, all of this is my fault. So, like, I will take responsibility. If Coco has to lose her memories, then also it makes it so it'll be only fair that I also lose my memories. Which is just like a big resolve, and we're getting some like drama here. Okay, sure. And that's enough that like to allow like Aurugio to be like, okay, like, I guess, you know, this kind of like, I guess we're doing this. I guess we're all gonna pretend like this shit's not happening. I guess we're gonna leave it to you to fucking figure this shit out, I guess. And so then Aurugio, apparently we found out that Aurugio is a contraption maker. So makes a lot of stuff. And Coco finds out this is the person that crafted the magic that Coco first saw. The spell that made her fall in love with magic in the first place. This is like an incredible discovery. And Aurugio like recognizes Coco's passion, which again, we have to remember, while she is our heroine and we would like for good things to happen for her, and it would be great if the like evil, weird nonsense people would like leave her the fuck alone and be cool. We also have to remember that she saw magic and was like, oh, magic is drawing? Cool, I can do that. And petrified her home and her mom. That she was just like, oh, this really scary thing that people are like Coco. I keep going back to this, like, Coco is great, but also Coco is like the cause of her own issues. She's ultimately the reason for her current ongoings. But yeah, he's like, well, I guess maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I wouldn't want you to be turn you in. And then so that's most of the episode. But then later, we do have a moment where, so I have to get this piece lined up right, and we'll see if I can line this piece up right here. There is a minstrel named Dagda, who is looking for help in rescuing his group that got stranded by a river, on a rushing river. And Queefrey and Aurugio go out, and then the episode ends with, Agat wants to prove themselves, and so they're going as well. They're gonna go join, and that could be a problem. All right, so most of this I feel good about, this leg, and how it's popped together here. There is one part I'm confused about. This has like a flap for some reason, and I don't know why. And it's not like snapping in any way. But I don't think it's supposed to, but I don't know if it's supposed to. I don't know. Part of this leg I'm like confused about. But I think I'm going to go with it and feeling like I'll figure it out. So we're moving on with the leg. But again, there's part of me that's like, did I do all this right? I don't know yet. Well, I'll find out later, I guess. I'll find out later if I mess something up. But we'll say for now that we're good. And we're also good to talk about Marriagetoxin. I had a good time with this episode of Marriagetoxin. So You may remember that our guy is just trying to meet people. He's just trying to meet women. He has to get married. He has said, I will get married and I will give an heir to the family. And you may remember that our guy, Hikaru, his main thing is, I am going to meet a lady and get engaged to them and then have a child. And he has to do that because otherwise his sister will have to get married. And she is a lesbian. So she does not want to get married to a man and have a child. So finally he was like, you will do this. And so that is the thing. He is an assassin who is very good at his job. He's very competent at his job. Right now he is undercover, working the job. So he's trying to find a wife, but also working jobs because the idea is that his best quality is that he is a cool, brave dude. And so maybe someday he will meet someone and save their life and sweep them off their feet. That is like the best case scenario for them right now. So the last episode was there was a legend about a baby eating deity in a shrine. There's also Naruko, who is a sound master. So they're going to be clashing because he's the assassin that was hired by the this young girl is going to be the CEO. Her aunt hired an assassin to kill her. She is the I should also say that she is the heiress to the, because it made me laugh, Balzac Party Supplies fortune. And that made me laugh so much that she is she is inheriting the a party city, basically a equivalent of a party city. But everyone takes that very seriously. But it's just a party supply company. There is a test of courage, and then Hikaru becomes it morphs into the baby eater. What? And that makes Shiori, the girl that he is supposed to be protecting, flee, and then she finds a corrupted version of her father. But apparently, this is all mental. This is all like a mental attack by her aunt, trying to manipulate her into hanging herself, because then no one will suspect foul play, which is fucked up. But she snaps out about it. Because her big thing is that she wants to make friends. Like, she wants to have friends, and she's not going to die before she makes any friends, which is very sweet and cute and nice. It's like, oh girl, you'll figure this out someday. You'll make friends, because she has a lot of fear of rejection and all that. But let's see. Sorry, I have to get this. I have to figure out how to hook this piece in like this. Okay. I think I hooked this piece in properly. And then I need to get I-17. When I do the other leg, this should all kind of come together pretty easily. But right now it's being a little weird because I don't quite know what I'm doing with it, as is always the way. But yeah, so she was just hallucinating because she's been hypnotized. Yeah, so they need to be accidental. So this was an attack. This was an attempt by her aunt to get her to kill herself. And Shiori is too scared about what's going on, so Hikaru carries her away because he's figured out like what's going on here. Naruko, the evil assassin, tracks through his wires, and he's using sound and vibrations to try to manipulate her. And apparently, because of past trauma, Um, she's just very easy to hypnotize, which is a shame. Shiori is just like, unfortunately, very easy to hypnotize and manipulate, which, you know, like makes for a compelling story, even if it makes you, also makes you fucking feel bad. You feel for the girl. You're like, oh man, that's rough. Okay, so is this how this goes? No, this has got to go like this. Like this? Yeah. Yeah, like this. This clips into here. And then that folds down. Sorry, hold on. How does this piece, how would this piece work best? Like this. That's what it looks like. Okay, so it goes like this. This is how this piece goes. It's got to clip into that. Then fold down. And then this goes up. Nope, that didn't clip in. Clipped. But maybe I'm doing this wrong. How does this piece go? This piece looks like that. This piece goes like this. Nope. All right. Yeah, this piece will be like that. And then it's got a clip in here. And I should be able to hear a clipping noise, a clicking noise. Okay. And then it goes like, all right, there we go. Jesus. Feels like that took forever to get like that. And obviously, oh, there's undergating on these pieces, but that's okay. And then they say press firmly. Press firmly, and also there's undergating. This is a lot of work. And then we're going to do the whole other goddamn leg. But that's okay. That's what we're here for, is to work on a model kit and talk about anime. All right, so Hikaru sends. So May is there. May, the basically the helper, his wingman of sorts. So he sends May away with Shiori to fight on Naruko. And then, like, look, people have magic, people have abilities. Shit gets fucking weird. Somehow, Naruko makes a golem out of dust using fine wire control to, like, manipulate rock dust into a huge golem. And the wires are acid proof. So, because that is kind of inadvertently, like, the best way to counter what our guy is doing is to, because he uses poisons and stuff. So they're acid proof, so he can't fight like that. But he ends up using, he has a fertilizer that he can make all of the trees and such and the vegetation around there grow, and then they grow very fast, and that finally causes the wires to snap, which is what he was looking for. Naruko manipulates the students, with his hypnosis abilities into thinking that the golem is the evil spirit that they had said before was out there. And then, of course, he manipulates them to thinking that how he can do this while fighting, I don't know. But he manipulates them into thinking that this is a god. This golem is a god that they've angered. And the only way to soothe it is to sacrifice Shiori. Because she's the youngest, so she is, like, the closest to being a child. Which is a lot. And so Naruko's like, all right, great. All of these college students are going to murder her for me, and then it'll be like this crazy thing. And of course, that's not what he wants, what his client wants, but it's still a means to an end, so he's okay with it. And that way he can focus on surviving this fight with this poisoned master assassin. A lot happened in this fucking episode. I did not think that this would be a multi-part episode. I thought for sure that this would be the wrap-up, that there would be a 2-episode arc, but we're getting into at least 3 episodes of it, which is pretty cool. Again, this is a world where people have, like, we already met somebody who can breathe underwater and is allergic to oxygen in the air or whatever. Like, there's already been a lot of weird shit, and our main character has weird powers. The idea of fine controlling wires to create dust to make a big golem, I was like, wait, what? I was like, oh, that's a lie, and then there's some other reason for that. I'm like, no, that's what they went with. I was like, oh, okay. I like it. It's fucking weird as shit and a strange choice, but I don't dislike the choice. I don't know. But I was like, wait, what? What are we doing here? It just seems weird. Seems weird. Okay, I need M1, 9, and 8. M1, 9, and 8. That's the M of... This is going to be the end of M1. Boy, yeah, we're not even going to get... We're going to get through one leg here and panel line it, and then we'll get started on the other leg, but leg day continues. There's just so much. This kid is so fucking detailed. This is one of the best master grades I've done in a very long time. Well, there's one more M1, so I can't throw that out yet. But this is one of the most detailed kits I've done in quite some time as far as a master grade goes. There's just so many little details. It's very fucking cool. But it is a lot. There's a lot going on this build. Okay. So now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? Love to hear from you about those things. Please let me know in the chat what you got going on. I will say that your friend Pat, on Tuesday, I streamed more of my randomizer run, my Heart Gold randomizer run. I had more of that and had a really good time doing that stream. Thank you for everybody that hung out for that. We got 2 gym badges in a row, and now we're working on the next one, which does involve me fighting a bunch of Team Rocket, and that's going good. Working on that, working on my on that stuff. That was fun. I did have to grind a bunch on Tuesday, and so that wasn't great. But I'm glad I got that grinded done, so now I don't have to worry about it for a bit. We should be at the right level for a while. I shouldn't have to grind for the next time I do this. After that, I might have to. But, only 2 gym badges away and some fighting until generally the end. So the next stream probably won't be, but could be the end if I can get 2 gym badges and all that, but it probably won't be. The next stream will probably be a lot of me just trying to get that 1 gym badge done. Because I should say, I don't usually go to the Elite Four, because to me it's about exploring, getting the gym badges and fighting. But maybe. Also, usually the road to the Elite Four is really fucking annoying and tedious, so I don't always want to do that. What else? What else can I tell you about? I bought Mixtape. I have not played Mixtape. That is going to be this weekend. It is, from all accounts, not a long video game. I will not be streaming Mixtape because I feel like that is an easy way to get DMCA'd. So I will not be doing that, but I will talk about it because it'll be fun to talk about. Also, I am done for now with, maybe I'll go back to it. Maybe I will. Snap and Grab. I have basically completed all I can, but I might go back and do some more small stuff. I haven't decided yet. That game continues to be fucking great. I really like Snap and Grab. I look forward to episode 2 of Snap and Grab because it was really fun. I'm watching a lot of wrestling. Last night there was a 3-hour Dynamite for 2 hours and then an hour of Collision, and they had a fucking overrun, if you can fucking believe it. Rest in peace to Ted Turner, who passed away and was honored at the start. They had Sting come out and cut a very Sting-ass promo, and Tony Schiavone talked about billionaire Ted. So, there goes that. But that was a fun episode of TV, even though they had a fucking overrun. But I still had fun watching, so that was cool. Dirty says, just finished Librarian, tidy up the arcane library today. If you haven't heard of it, it's a game along the lines of Leaf Game where you're cleaning up, but in this case, you're reshelving 3,000 plus books in a library. Oh, I haven't heard of that at all. Dirty. I'm going to write that down and take a look at it because that sounds right up my alley. Tidy up the arcane library. That sounds neat. I will investigate. I can't say for sure that I'm going to play it, but I'm at least going to look it up because that seems neat. I think I'm going to play Librarian is a $5 game on Steam. Yeah, I'm definitely going to take a look at it then. Yeah, that seems cool. Think you're going to play Lost and Found next while you wait for the next Forza game. Cool. Thank you for telling me about a game that I have not heard of, Dirty. So that is neat. I will investigate. I do need something else. I do need at least one other thing to play this month. So, it's still too early for, yes, because 19th to 26th. I have an idea of what I'm doing on the 19th, but I don't know what I'm doing on the 26th, so it might be Librarian, or I might push it. I don't know. Supposedly, we're getting close to the release. We have not heard exactly when. You gave it into my nibbling last night, and they missed morning classes because of it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I need to check in on a few things here and there, see if there's any games that I want to be playing. There is Dorf Romantic, or Dorf Romantique, is having its 5-year anniversary this summer, and they're going to have a new DLC coming out. And so I am looking forward to that. I downloaded it again so that we can play it when that stuff comes out. Also, they got a new night mode. They're gonna have a night mode. That seems neat. I don't know if I would play a night mode, but I'll at least engage with it and check it out. Okay, so I wanted to see, after we do all that, okay, yeah, I can now put this on here and get that going, and there it is. And if you're like, Pat, that seems like a little empty. Well, you have to, a thing to remember, and I guess I should make this clear. For whatever reason, this kit wants to assemble and then put on the clear pieces all at once. So one of the last steps in this instruction booklet, before obviously doing all of the stuff and the weapons and all that, is adding in a bunch of stuff in here, like taking this part out and adding in another ankle piece that for whatever reason they're going to want me to do that, and I don't know why. Wait, I don't even know what B is. Where's B? Wait, I know this is C. What's B? Oh, B, that's right. B doesn't exist. We don't have B, we just have C. This version of the kit only has clear pieces, and another version of this kit has the B, but this doesn't have it because of the B pack. So, Yeah, so all these clear parts, they're going to wait till the very end to use. So, like, parts of the leg don't have it. There's this little extension part that they want me to put in there that has it. There is the arms. There's even, like, parts of the backpack that I have to do at the end, which is strange. It is very strange that they do it this way, but this is the way they do it. So yeah, I like literally have to take the arms off and add in some pieces. It's very strange the way they do this kit. But we will continue like this. We did a whole fucking leg, which is cool. Now we're going to do a little bit of the other leg. While we still have a little time left in the stream, we'll start working on to other leg. Lashbury says, I finally played some Snap and Grab, but I got a little further than you did on your stream. I kind of wish the animations of the cutscenes were a little bit jank, but I'm having fun and the jokes hit. I have Prime Video right now, so I started rewatching Reacher since I never saw the third season. Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's great. And I also like that you're like, oh, I'm going to rewatch it to then get to the part where I, left off. Yeah, that's great. Enjoy your Reacher. Yeah, Snap and Grab. There's some stuff that I wish that I hope that they take feedback and make some changes in. If I make one change on the timeline, I don't want to see the whole thing again. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to fix that. I just know that there's some stuff about how that works that I don't love. And again, I don't know how to fix that, but it's true. There's just some parts of it that I don't love every moment of replaying if I'm just like trying to tweak one setting. But I still enjoy it. It's still very fun, even if occasionally it's frustrating. It is also just a cute-ass game. I gotta watch some people who are good at it play. I want to do that before episode 2. Before episode 2, I want to like watch some good ass people play that game. And maybe I'll go back. Probably not for a stream, but maybe I'll go back and do some stuff I haven't done yet in there. Laura Crash says, I've been watching more Twin Peaks Season 2 after Laura's murder was solved, which is going into some weird places. I love that, Lord Crashington, but there's something very silly, and I'm happy that you're still watching. There's something very silly to me about saying that Twin Peaks is going some weird places. It's just like, yeah, man. Again, I'm not trying to be a dick about that. I just find that to be a very like, yeah, dude, statement. David Duchovny stuff was handled better than I had expected for a show of this time period, though the yellow face stuff with Catherine was a big bummer. Yes, so like all media, there is stuff that in the moment I talked about the element of Yu Yu Hakusho, where there is someone that is presented as female that was born a male, and how Yusuke is kind of, sort of, very supportive, but also Yusuke, he's not the best guy, so he's like kind of alright about it, and also kind of a fucking weirdo about it. And it's like, for the 90s, it's pretty good, but that doesn't mean it's great. Twin Peaks, yeah, they, like, it is very clear that this show is like, hey, fucking trans people, fuck yeah, dude. If you're not on board, fucking get on board or fucking drop dead. That's awesome. And then also you have to be realistic about the fact that, like, yeah, and then sometimes it fucking sucks. Sometimes it does not got it like that, and it's got some fucking weird shit, and you're like, man, I thought you were being cool. Ugh. It ain't perfect by any means. Also, that is not dismissing those things as being genuine or things that we should discuss. It's just the reality of it. Lashberg says, I feel like if they wanted to add a challenge mode, don't use food, but an easy one to add. And again, talking about, yeah, I think like a challenge mode, Lashbrook, of like, or, hey, in this level, you have these things you need to accomplish. You can only use food on one challenge, you know, that kind of thing. Like, the challenges get harder as it goes, and you have to, like, figure out which one you want to, you know, which one you want to, quote unquote, use your easy out on. I think there could be something there. All right, I don't remember how, oh, this connects like this. Is that right? Yes. This connects like this, and then this connects like this. Yes, I'm starting to remember. Hopefully I can remember on Saturday when we continue working on this kit, and I could be like, ah, yes, now I remember how this goes. But we'll see. I'm going to close this up, and we'll probably call it quits here. J20. The Nadine stuff where they put her back in high school because she thinks she's 18 so she can harass Mike a bunch until he yells at her to stop. Yes! Look, again, there's a lot of fucking weird shit in that show, and some of it is weird because they're trying to, like, explore things, and also some of it is just fucking weird because, shit, we gotta write another hour of fucking TV in this weird-ass TV show that we're all working on. So let's do this thing, and let's do that, and we'll see what the fuck happens if we're just trying to figure this shit out. Sometimes that's all that's happening. All right, so let me circle this because this will be the next step. I think we did pretty good progress. We got a whole giant leg done. Look how big this fucking leg is. That's wild. And then we got the next leg started. We got our connectors done for our feet, or mostly. Again, you can see there should be something here. There should be something like here that there isn't. You're like, what? Why? There should be stuff here. That's because it's clear parts, and we haven't done that yet. So we'll get to that. Which, now that we have better lighting, I think will be good. I remember this was years ago. This was in This is in New York when I did a clear kit, and my overhead camera was a webcam that I had digitally zoomed in on, and my lighting wasn't that good. And every clear part, like, no one, like, it was a clear part on a clear part, and there was like no definition for people viewing. It was a bad time. The photos looked good, but the live camera stuff was not great. But anyway, we'll get more done on the next stream. And I want to thank you, everybody that's here, very much for hanging out with me. I hope you will come along on the raid that we're going to do, because we're not done yet. We got to go on a raid and go see who is also doing cool shit out there on the internet and go hang out with them. So we'll do that next. And then a reminder as I prep for that my next stream will be on Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern, and I would love for you to come hang out for that, where I will continue to work on this model kit. And we'll talk about anime and video games and all kinds of other stuff. There'll be other things that we'll chat about, I'm sure. There was like one news story I didn't talk about tonight because I didn't think we really needed to, but we can talk about it on Saturday. We didn't get to it, but it's not like it's going to have a big update with the next 2 days. And if it does, then even more reason to wait on it. Let's see. P2 is playing Mixtape, and I don't want to watch. I like P2. I like my friend. I don't want to see anything with Mixtape. I want to just play it myself because I own it. So instead, normally we would go hang out. We're going to go and watch Wiggins play Marathon. Matt Wiggins is playing Marathon, I assume with people. That'll be a good time. Matt Wiggins is good people. And I like Marathon. I'm having a good time with it. And then also, this is a tease. On Saturday, maybe I will be talking to you about a new element of my computer, which I talked a little bit about in my Discord. But maybe on Saturday, it'll all be ready to go and be excellent. I don't know. Come along on this raid. We're going to go hang out with Wiggins as he plays some marathon with some people, and it'll be a good time. I encourage you to do so. And then come back on Saturday. Like I said, I'm getting a new part for my computer, and it should be here on Saturday, and it might be installed by the time the stream happens. Got a good time to get into marathon with the new sponsored perimeter queue. Yes, it's a good time. I'm having fun with it. I'll talk to y'all soon. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye.